not sit here and say blindly that they believe that I have to deal with this pussy grabbing bastard. Okay? I feel sorry for the many minorities who basically, are running things and ruining this country step by step by step by step by step. Needs help. Yes, they do. And all the rest of us, the white middle class, move on average, people, on average. Most people in the middle class own half of his freaking brain. I applaud those who basically come to this country and say, you know something, we got to risk it any damn way because we can't stand where we're at. Okay? There is no let up on this crap at home. No. All right? So how can the homeland, as they want to call it, instead of the sister land, because the first world is the motherland. Okay? Your fatherland was once called, Nazi Germany. And now the homeland has a combination of bastardization and, most importantly, the highest bastard ever. I mean, if the doctor who basically said that this fool was like the healthiest president in office, then gets fired and then releases a statement saying, hey, look, I just know that this was done in, more collusion, fake evidence. I mean, this stuff is just coming out, all right, out one way or the other, people. I don't care how in the hell, she goes through more lies than stalls and deflects to reporters about the state. Okay? And I use the term loosely here, that if you would accept needless to fist and come on, man. Come on. They're good people. The police departments there are inept. Alrighty? That sort of thing. So let's just stop let's just call them people, human beings, for what they are. Alright? These are human beings escaping persecution, escaping stupid. Alright? The United States to begin pleading their cases for asylum on Thursday, despite the sharp criticism from prosecutors and judges to handle the groups of people from the Caribbean. Cheeseburger. Then right now trying to, the guy only works from 11 a.m. to 2 in the afternoon. Immigration, both legal and illegal, has animated many of his core supporters, even as his support among the broader American public hovers around 40%. Wow. So let me ask you, this is the guy you put in who said he's going to do a lot for the farmers. Okay? You can be whatever religion you want. I'm sorry, but make America great again caps are not religious items at all. Okay, they're not. Okay, so therefore, if you have kind of that means certain death if they stay, and we have the nerve to sit up and I don't know, rob these people of like their trade and their commerce. Okay, we make it difficult for anyone to of a color. This country makes it very difficult for anybody of color and age to actually sustain work. It does. Okay, a lot of this is political profiling. It's unheard of, but we allow it because we're the United States, the greatest country of all the world. We're a big nuclear power. We have everything that everybody wants. Okay, and we're afraid that we're hoarding. Okay, we're hoarding people. We're hoarding our economy. We're being nothing but a bunch of selfish jackasses to people who need help. Now, in every religion, in every faith, it doesn't matter what you follow, care and concern for the poor in this country should always come first. Not the economies of how are we going to build the government, not the economies of corporations, not the economies of billionaires who seek to fatten their pockets. And since 1970, there has not been an adjustment to the cost of living. Okay, the cost of living has gone skyrocketing. You want we want proof of this? Check this out. All right, I'll give you a very good place to start at. All right. From out of Market Watch. With no let up in home prices, the California exodus surges, which means people are basically getting ready to leave up out there. Or as Billy Joel once sung in 1976, goodbye Hollywood. Okay? Because in the midst of deepening housing crisis, thousands of people are following that advice. Okay, over 1 million people moved out of California from 2006 to 2016, then moved in. According to a new report, due mainly to the high cost of housing that hits lower income people the hardest. Okay, a strong economy can also be dysfunctional. Understand it. A strong economy can also be dysfunctional. Capitalism in itself is pyramided on the foundation of everybody rushed to the top, and you must sacrifice those who basically cannot afford to keep up with you. You know, I thought everybody was supposed to like rise up together, but because capitalism makes it a very selfish system, those who are poor are being pushed out. Those who come to this country to look for a better way are being pushed down, while those who are being millennialized rise up and their wages are going up, and so is the high cost of living. Housing cuts are much higher in California than any other states, yet wages for workers in the lower income brackets aren't. Like I said, from 1970 to now, we have not kept pace in raising the wages of workers. You know, whether it be in Burger King and McDonald's or out in the field picking up grapes and romaine lettuce, which is now like, you know, pretty much like a disease, and everything else the CDC says, well, you can't do that. I applaud the farmers for like trying to, you know, feed the rest of this world on pennies. Okay? I applaud them because they're working against two things: time and, of course, Mother Earth, because she is basically rejecting a lot of the pesticides that we use on it. So there are many reasons for the housing crunch, but the lack of new construction may be the most significant. According to a report from 2008 to 2017, an average of 24.7 new home housing permits were filed for every 100 new residents in California. That's well below the national average of 43.1 permits per 100 people. Now, in that, you have corporations that buy out low-income areas, say like, you know, on the bridge of like Skid Row, and turn them into condominiums, which should be turned into places for people to live. If your homeless population is doubled in size by two cities, something is wrong. Okay? If this trend persists, the researchers argue that analysts forecast that state will be a million homes short by 2025. Oh, just in time for the federal budget to come out and say we can't afford to do it. So that means everybody, make sure you go to like, you know, that makes sense. It starts to compound on the ethics of like having, you know, I guess before the better part, equity in a healthy situation, equity in our economy, equity in anything that our politicos can actually figure out. But when there's a free market for corporations to buy up low-income areas and then spike the prices up real quick, it's all because there's a balloon payment behind it. Okay? In a separate analysis, Realtor.com found that the number of people searching real estate listings in the 16 top California markets compared to people living there or searching elsewhere was more than double that of the other areas and growing. And in those areas, counties such as Santa Clara, San Mateo, and Los Angeles, the growth in views of listings on Realtor.com was virtually unchanged compared to a year ago this spring, while views of listings in other parts of the U.S. were 15% higher. Okay? All right, so if I couldn't afford to live in California, why am I here in Colorado Springs? Case fact right there, here I am. Wow. So because we can't since we can't do anything about, say, like, you know, how we can raise, and this cracks me up. Walmart is basically, an evil fiend behind it as well. But people is based on housing costs, then you are living in. Now, the report does call the housing crunch basically as, sheetrock, an emergency that costs $400. Republican numbnuts out there. They never paid the Afghans. Okay? ISIS saw through this and said, okay, since we're all in prison now, all 3,000 of us, let's just all over the place. Now the same thing is happening again. Y'all don't know who the white helmets are, right? I'm pretty sure you do. Well, according to CBS News, the U.S. freezes funding for Syria's white helmets. Now, white helmets, okay, they're just a small group. So was ISIS, and so were the Afghan rebels. So the Afghan rebels, I give them credit, though. They did fight a hard fight with very little, okay? And they beat back the Russians. ISIS fought Al-Qaeda because John McCain, there's pictures of it, researching people. There is pictures of it and statements of him saying that we needed ISIS, all right? So I don't see how Obama's pretty much at fault of this. Now, under the Cheeseburger administration, less than 2 months ago, the State Department hosted members of the White House white helmets at Foggy Bottom. At a time, the humanitarian group was showered with praise for saving lives in Syria. Our meetings in March were very positive. There were even remarks from senior officials about long-term commitments even into 2020, not the TV show. There were no suggestions whatsoever about stopping support. Rahid Salah, the group's leader, told CBS News. Now that they're not getting any U.S. funding, oh, that's right, we're still protecting a welfare state at this point, right, Netanyahu? Yes. So therefore, the State Department says the support is under active review. In other words, they got cheap. They got cheap. Okay? Again, the only people affected in this are children. Nobody cares about children when there's a war. There's collateral damage, as our military advisors all say. What if that shit would have happened here? What do you think would happen? People would be coming out their pockets talking about, oh, we're gonna do something, and so forth. People would come out their pockets. They would. But this is the United States, people. We're the wealthiest country. We have all the bombs. We have all the military. We got bigger, better bombs. And yes, we can take. Okay? Boy, such arrogance goes but so far. They're people of color. Why would you do that? White Helmets, formerly known as a group of 3,000 volunteers rescuing buildings full of children, men, and women out of danger's way. They said, all right, it's not American. Okay? Oh, my. It could be another ISIS or Al-Qaeda brewing at the banks of it, more hatred toward this country, because again, we basically pulled our free. Okay? So the U.S. government officials are not talking about the date of actual funding cutoff for each program. You don't need the House, eminent domain. And eminent domain's been a practice since they give the beautiful words and promises, but nothing much else. So as far as Cheeseburger actually getting really consider the ability of fresh water. Okay, people of India who are keep your heads